Let's make our Resident Evil 4 remake running like this, or even this, to this. To optimize Resident Evil 4 remake for best graphics quality, we are going to choose these PC settings first. Let me first select the preset to max, then the FSR quality we are going to select balanced. Also, let's disable the ray tracing for now. We will check its performance impact later. Really lucky to start with a 60 FPS game and a smooth frame time. Now let's have a look towards other settings that can boost our FPS or reduce it if we turn them on or off. So we are averaging about 57 FPS now, and this is one of the settings that you should never turn off. By turning off this particular setting, you actually reduce the FPS. Because this setting is used to enable caching, frequently used data of shadows, and if you turn it off, it's going to massively decrease your FPS. See, 43 FPS. We were at about 57 and now we are at 43. This setting alone accounts for 30% increase in frame rates. So make sure you never disable this setting. Now before we move on towards the other settings, I would like to grab your attention towards this particular area. Only thing that should concern you here is the expected graphics memory. If it is in red, then you are going to be VRAM limited most of the time and you will see massive frame drops. So if it is in red, then it's alarming. If it is in orange, then it might not stutter that much, but if you can bring it in white color, then it's well and good. That means your graphic card VRAM will always be free to grab the new textures, so you won't be stuttering because of your VRAM. To reduce the VRAM requirement, you can adjust the texture quality. I checked each and every quality, and for me 2 GB and 1 GB are good enough for most of the players around the world. If you have like huge VRAM pools, then you can go higher, but it won't be that fruitful. Very minor changes as you can see in the side area as well. So make sure you do this in the first place. Moving on to other areas, mesh quality and shadow quality are those two settings that affects FPS the most. And if you see in the right side, then you will find that when setting the shadow quality to max, it just insanely increases the VRAM requirement and it isn't helping graphics that much. So keeping the shadow quality to medium or high will help you a lot in reclaiming that 1 GB or 2 GB VRAM extra space without losing anything. Both of these settings account for about 5 to 10 FPS increase, and if you set them to like medium, then you will only lose 2 FPS and will nearly gain the exact amount of quality that you were seeing before, especially with the shadows, as image quality is really unnoticeable. Next major impacting setting that increases the FPS is ambient occlusion. It's your choice. This particular game uses shadows nearly in each and every scene, so I would suggest you to leave it at max, as it's like 3 to 4 FPS gain and it does affect shadows a lot. Also, removing volumetric lighting completely will make the scene soulless. So I would suggest, at least if you are going to gain FPS by this setting, then try setting it at minimum. Bloom is yet another setting that yields about 2 to 3 FPS, and it is particularly your choice if you wish to let it enable or disable. Rest all the settings are really negligible. And the last setting that affects the performance is screen space reflections. Again, check this setting out in the right side and see if you really want this kind of graphics in your game. And if the answer is yes, then try to reduce other settings rather than that, because this is just a switch, so it's either on or off. Now I have rebooted the game with 1440p resolution rather than setting it at 4K, and this time we are getting 93 FPS by default, as you can see. So now let's crank up the RTX settings to high. So now we are averaging at about 82 FPS, and previously we were about 90 to 93, so that's about 15% of FPS loss. Remember that changing to RTX settings also increases the VRAM requirements, so keep that in mind and adjust other settings accordingly. One of the reasons why this game crashes a lot is because you have enabled RTX settings and textures are really high, and that particular texture pressure causes the crashing of game. It crashed for me a lot in the beginning, and as soon as I removed the RTX settings, the game worked well. But there were stutters, and as soon as I optimized the texture quality accordingly, my 8 GB graphic card VRAM, the game went to a flat frame rate line, smooth as silk. Developers have done really well job optimizing this game, I must say. Lastly, I would like to draw your attention towards this texture shimmering, and this particular issue is because of FSR settings. So if you put your resolution to quite low and if you enabled FSR setting, then you can have this particularly strange shimmering everywhere. So make sure if you are getting this, then you either turn off your FSR or increase the resolution to counter it. That's it guys. Like, share and subscribe this video, and let me know in the comment section if you need any kind of help. This is me, Rohit Joshi from Indie 1UP. Accept my humble namaste and have a good day.